Hello, this is the solution for programming assignment 3 of week 7 of the course Joy of Computing using Python. So I will be explaining you all how to code this, and for those of you who are not interested in the explanation, there will be a link in the description with the code below. The problem statement is, the program asks for an input n which acts as the range. The program then asks n number of elements as input for n number of rows and n columns. After that, the second condition is that once you input the matrix, you need to start printing the element from the first element, that is 25 for this example, counterclockwise. So 25, 24, 20, 16, 48 in this order. Then towards the right, towards the top, left, and then the second in the matrix. So we need to print it in a counterclockwise fashion. So the way we do this is we take an input n, that is the number of elements. We will need an array, and we will need to populate that array with the input values. So what the split function does is it takes input and splits it with the help of a separator, that is by default space bar. We can test this. So yes, it's working. N inputs in one line and you get a matrix. So for a 4x4 matrix, this is a 4x4 matrix. If we want to traverse this, we'll start printing from 4, then we need to go down, print 5, 6, 7. Then from 7 we need to go right, print 8, 9, 0. So for that we will need 4 indexes, that is the first row, the last row, the left column, and the right column. This is because then we can use a for loop to range from the first row to the last row for the first iteration, and another for loop to range from the left column to the right column for the second iteration to go from left to right. So we need to initialize those indexes first. First is equal to 0 because first row is 0. Even the first column, that is left column, is equal to 0. Last row is equal to the length of the array minus 1. Length of the array is 4 minus 1, 3. And right column is equal to length of number of columns, that is a of 0 minus 1. Number of columns are 4 minus 1, 3. So to get the last index 3. So first we have to print number 4. So that is index 0, 0. So we need to start a loop starting from the range of first row to the last row. So we will need another index here, so last plus 1. Now we need to print the element. The index will be first row, first column. First column is going to remain the same for all the elements. First row will change, so that will be I and I comma left. So that will print all the elements from 4 to 7. Now we need to print 8, so we need to increment left by 1 so that we can start the loop from 8 and end to 0. Ranging from left to right. Again we'll need plus 1 here so that it iterates 3 times. We print that element. Here the bottom row is staying the same, the column is changing, so left column will be I, so I will change, comma row is bottom, sorry, column is I. We need to go on top now, so decrement the last row by 1. For I in range from last row, to the first row. Since we are decrementing, we need to go -1 step. Third parameter is -1, and we print the elements. Here the row will be last, which will decrement, so I, and column is right. Now we need to move from 7 to 6, so we need to decrement the right column by 1, so that we can use it as a range. For I and range right to left -1 because we are decrementing, and third parameter -1 step for range function. So we print the value. That will be, the row will remain the same, that is the first row, and the column will change each iteration, that's I. Now for a 4x4 matrix, it will print up till 5. So if we want to go down now, we need to increment the first row. Also, we need this same loop now for the inner matrix. So we need to run this loop twice. So for that we can use a while function. For the while condition, we can use left is less than right and first is less than last, because if you can see here, we are incrementing the left row and the left column and the first row, and we are decrementing the last and right. So it's right now it's focusing on the inner matrix. First is here, second row, last is on the second last row, so first is less than last, so it will run once more. Same for first column and right column. First column is here, right column is on this column, so left is less than right, so this condition holds, so it will run once more for the 4x4 matrix. So now if we run this program for a 4x4 matrix, it's printing in a vertical line, so we can quickly fix that by adding a separator and an end parameter in the print statement. Separator as space and end parameter as space. Put this in all the print statements, and let's run the program again. So yes, it's printing in the correct fashion. So let's check the numbers: 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 9 8 9 0 9 8 7 6 5 8 7 6 5 6 7 8 7. So it's working for a 4x4 matrix. If we check for a 3x3 matrix, it's printing 1 4 7 8 9 6 3 2. It's not printing the last element 5. This is because the while condition is not holding. After the first iteration, left is coming to the middle, right is coming to the middle, so it's not holding. Left is equal to right. So it's running up till 2, and it's not running first to last for the fifth element. Same is gonna happen for 5 elements, since 5 and 3 are odd numbers, so they will run, but the last element won't be printed. Now the fix I found for this is, since it's only happening for odd numbers, we just need to print the index of this element, and we can find that index if the input range is an odd number, that is n mod 2 is not equal to 0, then we can print, we will have to import the math library. We need to import the floor function as if. So what floor does is, it's gonna return 1, so 1.5 becomes 1, so floor is the base value, the floor value of the number. We import floor from math library and we use it over here. So as we can see that if we are importing 3, the element that is 5 is row 1 column 1, so 1 comma 1, so we want 1 from the n. So we can see that 3 by 2, n by 2 is 1.5, so floor of that will be 1. So we can input that as n by 2 here, first element. So second element will be the same, the column will be the same, f of n by 2. Now when it's 3, we are getting here 1 comma 1, and we'll have to put the same separator and n parameter. Can run this and check it for a 3 by 3 matrix. Yes, it's printing 5 now, the last element. For a 5 by 5 matrix, it's printing up till the middle element 5. Yeah, so this is also correct. Now we can check this code in Swayam. So it says passed after ignoring presentation error. So now for this program we can't really get passed for all three because it's the problem of the expected output. It's expecting a new line here, a blank here, and a new line here. So we can pass these two by adding a new line at the end of the last element. So let's change that here. So we can see that we passed those two test cases. We cannot pass this, but it's still accepting as public test cases 3 out of 3 passed. So we can submit this. That'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching.